Rolling, Doc.
This is just showing.
All right, so today's a special day. What is today?
Today is my grand reopening. I've spent a lot of time and money revamping my office, and it's been over a year since we moved in here. I'm not an OCD or perfectionist necessarily, but it took us a long time to feel like we can finally say, okay, grand opening. So anyway, we have a stem cell presentation over here that we did earlier today. We're going to do another one just to help people understand what we do, and specifically in this case, what stem cells can do.
Awesome.
And we had some healthy, of course.
I know. I already filmed all the grub and everything. That's awesome.
You know,
that is so
with the exception
cool.
of the starchy carbs over there that were for the early morning coffee crew and stuff like that. Most of this is super, super healthy.
Yeah, the salmon was awesome.
We got our sweetened with erythritol only, and that's the only really safe fake sugar. Portable snacks. And
somebody making it.
Anyway, you said you've been in here before, right?
Yeah, but I want to talk a little bit about all the services you provide over here, because you really made this place kind of like a one-stop shop for everybody, and I don't think people understand or realize what you're offering here. So let's talk about every single thing.
The idea was actually given me by a famous person who's one of the most prolific producers in the world, who sat down with me one day and said, you know, why don't you and such another doctor who's actually at the top of his game get together and make life so much easier. And his opinion, he's very, very successful. He's not only a producer, he's successful in a lot of other things. He's a multi-billionaire. For privacy reasons, I can't say who it is, but he's very, very successful at rebuilding companies. And anyway, I thought, who better to listen to than someone like that, who suggested one-stop shopping. So that, I mean, how many times have you been to a doctor's office and here's a referral for so-and-so,
That's
gives you a
right.
card, and you yourself who want to get it done don't follow up for whatever reason for 6 months, if at all.
Yeah.
It's so much easier if you walk down the hall and say, well, here,
Yeah.
meet so-and-so if they're available, or here, let's sign you up. You can go ahead and get your therapy here.
Yeah.
One way or the other. So anyway, that was the idea. I can't get enough space in Santa Monica, especially with as expensive as Santa Monica space is, to do everything. But I picked some of the things I thought would be of interest to particularly my patient base, sports medicine and regenerative medicine both. So cryotherapy at work right now. So we have the cryotherapy machine. We use U.S. cryotherapy, which is considered, in my opinion, and those of many other, probably the best in the country.
Wow.
Very, very safe. It's electrical. It brings you down to 150 below temperature-wise. As you can see, it's a big machine.
Yep.
You can push out like you would push out of your shower. So it's very, very safe.
Yep.
It's full body. It's not nitrogen based, which has the advantage of avoiding any potential for burns. The idea is just to get your skin temp down below what it normally is by 25, 35 degrees to get the therapeutic effect. So you don't need to get below 200 degrees and risk some other deals. And I'm not bad mouthing nitrogen. It's just I think this is safer, and there's certain nitrogen machines which are done properly. There's one up on La Cienega up here which is full body, and it is very, very safe. We also have infrared sauna here. There's other therapeutic benefits to not just sauna, but infrared sauna, the heat penetration, which has great value too. That's what we have over on this side.
Awesome.
And then
you mean you got a blood order?
our standard exam. You said you already gave him the tour, right?
Well, that was like you were like in the middle of it, so I just want to let people know.
Well, there's somebody in here. This is our physical therapy room, and we've got Mary, who does. She's a medical esthetician, and she does everything from collagen induction therapy to just cosmetic makeup.
Nice.
That's redundant. What's the word? Permanent makeup, stuff like that, and removal of certain makeups as well. The tattooed makeup. So she's a specialist there. Anyway, she's at work as we speak.
Awesome.
Let's see. Well, we've got our OR here.
Yes.
Which right now is in the middle of this. We're using it a bit for today for storing a few items we just got. But this is where I extract fat, mainly to collect stem cells. We can collect mesenchymal cells from adipose tissue fat, and we can also trim down some of the excess fat that people might not want necessarily carry.
Yeah.
So kind of kill two birds with one stone.
But also, you were telling me you use this room to do gynecomastia.
Yeah, no,
removal.
it's part of that. Well, I train with a guy who's famous for being the best at what he does, Alberto Hoyos in Colombia. And we using Vaser equipment, which is this piece over in the corner here.
Mm.
We can do what they call a high def lipo, which means we could actually, we're not debulking, we're not taking a big cannula and taking out a lot of fat. It's for people who really want to just carve up. There's a little bit over here that you might want to get rid of, and I think we talked about this at one point. At 225, you got that at 215, you get rid of it, but you're a little too light, so
Yeah.
you can stay 225, and we just trim off that extra, and it's usually just a matter of,
Touch up.
has nothing to do with your fault, unless you chose your parents the way you did, and you're stuck with it, and you can take credit for choosing your parents that way. It's a genetic thing where, again, we can make up for it, but again, I encourage patients to save the fat because we can harvest the mesenchymal stem cells out of it and use those for a lot of things later.
Wow.
But yeah, we can also do gynecomastia surgery as part of that with the Vaser equipment.
That's awesome.
It's very helpful because a lot of times when you do gynecomastia surgery, you cut out the breast tissue and a little fat around it and you leave a divot.
Mm-hmm.
With the Vaser, you can go and sculpt around the area so that you get rid of, essentially you can get rid of all the fat, so there's no divot that can be made because there's nothing left to leave a hole in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
Very
I think.
cool.
Here we have our IV therapy room. So we do a lot of IV nutrition here. We're set up to do, looks like obviously a Myers cocktail. And this is an athlete who's going to follow up with some glutathione, which is great to preserve.
It's very hot right now. A lot of people do that.
For heat.
Glutathione, a lot of athletes, a lot of competitors, yeah.
For everyone, because if you use reduced, of course, glutathione and vitamin C, you'll recharge the vitamin C, which is a great antioxidant with the reduced glutathione. So it potentiates that effect. It's probably the most powerful, natural, if you will, because we make our own glutathione. We have to ingest vitamin C, but self-defense against, viruses, bacteria, fungus. So a lot of athletes come to use this because it helps protect the hemoglobin, and the red blood cells in general, and helps with recovery with athletes. Normally the dose we give will give you, I recommend people do it, you don't need to do it more than once a week. One interesting note though with the glutathione use with athletes is you'll find that because glutathione is sulfur based and the tests we use to assay hemoglobin, it'll look like your hemoglobin has been dropped when in fact it's still there, it's protected, but because of the combination of the use of glutathione and the testing reagents, it'll show as reduced. The hemoglobin, that is. That ran us for a scare years back when we first started using this. This is supposed to help. This is supposed to preserve the hemoglobin in America, not make it go the wrong way. Anyway, just a fun fact for in case you're in jeopardy.
Yep.
But
awesome.
Over here we have. Here's where we do a lot of different therapies, including one form of stem cell collection, which is using a very new machine, the Spectropia, but an old technique we used for stem cell transplants. We sit someone in the big comfy chair here, and we hook them up to each arm, and we pull the blood through after using something called Neupogen or Filgerstem to stimulate your own production from your bone marrow of stem cells into the blood for about 3 or 4 days. Anyway, then we collect them using this, so we have all 3 stem cell types. And they're yours, and then we store them. They're not something that as of yet we can replicate, but we've got those for you in case, God forbid you get in an accident or you have a shoulder cleanup that might be healed better with some stem cells introduced either during or after the procedure. So anyway, that's what this is for. We also do PRP therapy here, platelet-rich plasma therapy. We've got the game ready for just in case you need to come in here post-workout and ice down. And the cryotherapy is too short for you, only 3.5 minutes. Here we can ice you for half an hour or more.
Wow.
Our Normatech, I think, is in one of the other rooms, but of course we do compression therapy too. And speaking of compression, we have the hyperbaric oxygen therapy chamber in here, which nobody's using right now. But here we have the soft shell.
Oh, wow.
Because that's what we have room for, honestly. But we still get the therapeutic effect. This one's adjusted for 7 psi, which is below 30 feet, and an hour treatment, from beginning to end. So you're at least getting 40-45 minutes of compression using pure or close to pure oxygen. You get the therapeutic effect, which includes stem cell production. It
Wow.
stimulates, we've seen the studies showing that it'll stimulate the bone marrow to produce more stem cells, as well as pushing the compressed oxygen through the smallest of vessels to help therapeutically. For in terms of recovery, this is one of the best things. All my bicyclists come in here and use this
Yeah.
because normally you do your your flat road work, and you do some hills, and then you might go back and do flats and hills. By the fourth day, you're smoked. You do your hyperbaric oxygen every day for those 3 days. The fourth day is just like the first day.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing the way it works, and we don't know if it's necessarily just the ability to help reoxygenate tissues that much more quickly, or the stem cell release, but definitely not just a marginal but significant difference if you do your hyperbaric oxygen therapy while training hard. Well, for anything, but particularly for my bicycle athletes.
Are you going to be able to handle all that new clientele? Because you're busy as it is right now.
You had to bring that up, didn't you? We're working on that. In all sincerity, I mean, you do hit a hot spot. I apologize.
It's a good thing. I mean, that means people like
it's a
you. You're
good problem
successful.
to have, but it's still a problem to
Yeah.
not be organized enough to manage all the.
Well, you get a new
patients.
office manager now. You just brought in.
Yeah, we're
nice
stepping
lady.
up the game.
Yep.
Always finding good people is the hard part.
I know,
And,
I know.
and organizing, which it all falls on me. I'm the guy. I'm supposed to have a. Well, I was a CPA before I'm a doctor, and I actually have a business degree, so it does fall on me. But it's hard to practice medicine and do anything but that.
Yeah.
I think you have to focus on one thing and do it the best you can, and that's one thing I've learned the hard way.
Yeah.
I hire a CPA now, a JD CPA, former IRS consultant. So because I can't do that stuff anymore, and I like what I'm doing better anyway, practicing the medicine. So anyway, yes, thank you for pointing that out. That we've got not the best reputation for keeping up with the business, but we're going to catch up. And
I wasn't saying that for that. I'm just so glad that that obviously, if you're getting busier and busier, it's because people really took to you. And I think the videos have helped a lot. For people to know how knowledgeable you are and how great you are at what you do. And now this new clinic, so I think it's great that you'll be able to branch out and bring so many more people and clients, that will be able to just focus. But I think once people find someone they like and trust, they want to stick with that person. I think you're right about that. So I think the fact that they'll be able to just stay here with your staff, with yourself, with the people you work with, I think it's great.
Well, thanks for saying so, and that is the intent. We want to be thought of as very trustworthy, and but that like I say, that extends to getting your refills done on time and everything else right too. So we're working on improving
growing
that.
pains.
Growing pains. Yeah, but no, we look forward to
That's
being
awesome.
able to accommodate as many people as possible and expanding therapies. I mean, with medicine projected to do what it is, with all the new treatments from not just stem cells but CRISPR. Gene splicing and all the other stuff we have going on, and small things that I say small things that we think of as not necessarily groundbreaking, but having so many different options for helping. We have the standards like cortisone shots, but we also have PRP is ubiquitously used now, and it was like just 5 years ago that people were like, oh, it doesn't even work, and yet now we know absolutely it does work. Mm-hmm. And I think even now in some places it's being covered by insurance. So
awesome.
Just the number of therapies that are beneficial is now increased so much. That's what I'm trying to say is the exciting part. So the more we can collect those that we know work well and have it all in one spot, the better, right?
That's awesome.
And treat everything.
Doc, give the address of the clinic real quick on top of your head.
2701 Ocean Park Boulevard, Suite 114, Santa Monica, California, 90405.
Do you know the phone number?
310-452-3206.
Boom. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you. Thanks.